Subtle hint.
All right. Well, I've said a lot, so I don't know if I should stick with what my plan was. Any suggestions? Guess not. All right. I'm going to read the introduction because I think that, it's hard. The chapters in the beginning are really fundamentally about the orientation of what we do in this. So any of them are good, but I'm going to start with this. And I want you to know that there's quite a few quotes in this book, and I got permission to use all of them, and it was a very interesting experience. Leonard Cohen's publicist, John Lennon's publicist, Chogyam Trungpa's publicist, which is Shambhala. And for all of them, and these are people that I have great respect for things that they've said, and I think they're very copacetic with this whole approach. They all read some of my book, and they wrote me back, and they said, absolutely, absolutely. So I just want to say that, and so I started out with my book, if you've looked at it already, with a quote from Leonard Cohen, which is very popular now, but it's so true, and it's like our saving grace, honestly. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. I'm sure you've all heard that. And don't we know it's true? Just when we think things are so solid and they're never going to change, suddenly there's a shift and we have a whole nother perspective. But that's what Mixong is about, is seeing things in a fresh way. All right. You all hear okay back there? Okay. If we could live our lives in freshness, discovering our world anew every day, and share that with our loved ones, would that be worth doing? If we could look at our partners and see them completely and deeply, would we be able to love them more fully? If we could look at snow falling on the pavement and feel its gentle softness on our face, would we simply enjoy the experience without our habitual dread of cold, snowy days? Could we discover the brilliant colors in our world and simply enjoy? We could live this way. We can learn to see simply and completely without our thoughts continually separating us from the freshness of our experience. And we can develop our ability to express these experiences through our photographs. In the world of photography, advances in digital technology have made taking vivid, sharp photographs easy to do. We now have the possibility to express the experience of our world without having to learn a lot about the technical aspects of photography. We can shoot on automatic mode and have all the decisions about how to take the photo made for us. Anyone who has an eye, mind, and the desire to communicate can shoot high-quality photographs. This new opportunity brings up new questions. What do I do with this technological wonder? Shoot my friends and family, so to speak. I'm sorry, I've had complaints about the word shoot. Let's just say photograph my friends and family. If I go on a trip, I can photograph the historic sites and points of interest to show my friends back home. I can shoot the most famous places the same way everyone who has been there before me has done. And if I'm adventurous, I can create very cool images in digital editing programs such as Photoshop. I can shoot anything I want, and from that create something totally different, a work of creative art. I can make adjustments to darken, lighten, change the color, and paste in other elements to create a totally new image. Whatever I can think of, I can create in Photoshop. What if we took a different approach to expressing what we see through photography? Have you had moments when you see something so new, so fresh, that you can't believe it? Something so outside of your box that you could never have imagined it? The world we live in is a very rich place, visually. When we take the time to really notice the details of what we are seeing, there is an infinite realm of visual experience waiting for us to explore. Rather than judging what is best or right, good or bad about what we are seeing, why not set out to explore exactly what is in front of us, wherever we are? There are many photography courses about the technical use of the camera, photographic rules, and templates of acceptable subject matter. But it is extremely rare to find a teacher who can show us how to photograph in an authentic and fresh new way. For our images to successfully and completely communicate our perception, we have to understand what we have seen. To really express our experience, we have to take a leap beyond all of the ideas we have about what we are seeing. We have to open our minds and pay very close attention to our world, like visitors to another culture with very different language, customs, and appearance. We can leave our baggage in our hotel room and wander freely through this new world. What we see has the flavor of being seen for the first time, without the labels and categorization of experience that we usually impose on whatever we see. We do not have to travel to have this experience of newness and wonder. The richness that we have inherited as human beings is all around us in the direct experience of the forms in our world. Colors, textures, lines, light. It is ours to enjoy, to appreciate, if we can be present to see it. It is in our kitchens, our bedrooms, our offices, on our walks, as we look at friends and loved ones. This is our world. It has a heartbeat, and our blood runs through it, like a river of life and feeling, with qualities of hard, soft, wet, smooth, full, empty, lonely, and joyful. We can express the experience of direct living with our camera. We may not be sure what our expressions mean, but they will be real, the genuine article. The photograph will carry within it our heart, our mind, the blood of our experience. This book is a roadmap of a path for taking different kinds of photographs, which might even lead to a different kind of living, direct living through direct seeing. The images are expressions of moments of direct perceptions for me. As you look at the images, you are looking through my eyes, my mind, and my heart. I am sharing with you, and so you will share with others. May it bring you deep enjoyment. So, I don't know if any of you have seen the pictures in my book, but, and I'm not going to talk much longer, but I just want to point out that all of these images were exactly what I saw. And that's one of the things we learn in our courses, is how to understand what you see and how to express that exactly. And this is a real, it's a discipline, and it's also an art, because it's very simple. What stopped me? What caught my eye? What was part of the perception and what was not? Where does it start and where does it end? What's included and what's not included? And by looking at what you see, you can actually start to express, and this is what you were saying, that they all have a flavor. And yes, that's true, and that is that there's nothing extra in our images. So what you're seeing is exactly what I saw. And that's probably the seal of it, is that there's nothing extraneous that bleeds out, and you can rest in the knowledge that what you're seeing, and this is over in the cafe, by the way. We put a big one of those over there. Is that you know that you're seeing exactly what we saw, what I saw. So there's a simplicity, but also every one of us, once we get kind of beyond our database of comfortable images that we can shoot, or what we like to see, or what we think makes a good picture, once we actually develop the ability to get beyond that altogether, to be really seeing and expressing freely, we all have our own unique makeups so that we don't see things the same way and we don't express them the same way. So we're all really different. If you got Michael's and my photographs side by side of the exact same thing, they would be different. They are different. Someday maybe we'll do a book of both of our images side by side. I think it'd be kind of fun. And so, you can see. And the other thing about what we do is we really have a lot of emphasis on shooting in the everyday world. So that in your kitchen, wherever you are, for me, at the beauty shop, so to speak, they don't call it that anymore. You know, there I am with my little camera. Can you all see? I just whip it out. And they're very tolerant of me over there. I don't know why, but they don't seem to care. Anyway, so that's about it for me. Any other questions? Lola?
What do you suggest for people that have been taking photographs for a while? I mean, I've been taking photographs, but I'm not sharing. They're just, I'm sharing them on the Instagram website, but I'm not sharing them with anybody else. And it's, I want to find a way to do that. And I don't know if there's any. When I think about postcard, I guess that's the leap I haven't taken.
I'm glad you shared that. That's pretty cool. Well, there's ways to do it. I mean, one thing you can do is you can find a place, do some prints, and Soleil. Post your images over there. I think it's terrific. See, Lola took the entire Mixon Institute last summer, and she's really been doing a lot of shooting. I think people would love to see your images. And you might actually inspire some people to do it too. And then you start to have friends who take the class and self-publish. More about that?
Well, do an Apple book, do a Blur book,
Good idea.
and send it to everybody you know, just as an expression of your life.
Spread it around. Yeah, you never know. You really can inspire people to start doing it themselves.